All right, what is going on, Guardians? It's your boy Wyatt, aka Wombo Combo, back again with another video. Today I'm doing a tier list ranking. I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just wanted to wait until the newest dungeon had come out. And in fact, that dungeon being this one, Spire of the Watcher. It's the newest dungeon. And yeah, I wanted to do a ranking of all of the dungeons in Destiny 2. Some are better than others, in my opinion. I have solo flawless Prophecy, Grasp, and Duality working on Spire. Haven't done it yet, and I'll tell you why later. I'll explain more about that, but I don't really feel the need to like do Pit or Shattered, because Pit is easy as hell, and then Shattered, you don't get an emblem for going solo flawless, you just get an emblem for doing it solo. So it's doesn't mean as much to me. Okay, so starting off with Shattered, this is the first dungeon that they ever introduced into Destiny 2, and it was a hit when it first came out. People really loved Shattered, and I can see why. Like, at the time, after you beat the Last Wish raid, it unlocked, and it was that new, like, holy crap, there's this new thing to do at the end of the game. And I remember it being particularly difficult when it came out. Like, around that time, it was tough. So definitely a good one, but by no means amazing. It was their first, foray into the dungeon-esque level design, and it was okay. It was middle of the pack, in my opinion. Having seen what they can bring to the table now, got to put it B tier. Next, we have Pit of Heresy. Pit is my... I don't want to go as far as to say my least favorite dungeon, but it's definitely lower on the list for me. I'm not a huge Pit enjoyer. Never been a big fan. As a whole, the DLC Shadowkeep that it came out with, it's just mid. It's so mid. Everything about it. I would say I could hear an argument for Pit being B tier, but I'm gonna put it C. I'm gonna put it below Shattered, to be honest. It's not my fave. Next, we have Prophecy. Now, Prophecy, I have fond memories of Prophecy. It's the first dungeon I ever solo flawless. I did it before any of the 3.0 subclasses came out, so that was, in my opinion, back when it was quote-unquote difficult to do. It was way more difficult than it is now, I'll say that. It was before the resilience changes. Like, having 10 resilience didn't do anything for you, and I did it on a hunter. So it was definitely difficult. Like, Prophecy was tough when I originally solo flawed it. And not only that, but it's just beautiful. I love Prophecy aesthetically. The most beautiful dungeon in the game, in my opinion. I love the scenery in Prophecy. It was also free to play, if I remember correctly, so you didn't have to buy a dungeon key or whatever bullshit. It just came with the season, and it was free to play, so that was definitely a plus for Prophecy. And the weapons were cool. Some revamped or redone Trials of the Nine weapons were brought back for it, and yeah, Prophecy overall, definitely one of my favorites. I'm gonna put it S tier. I think it's an amazing dungeon. I think it plays really well. I think the worst encounter in Prof has to be the spinning rooms, because it's just like pretty boring. But when, like, solo flying, that room is intense. There's a lot going on, and it is a slog at that part. But like the Ribbon Road and the boss fight, the final boss, and the first boss even, like, very enjoyable. Next, we have Grasp, Grasp of Avarice. This came out with the 30th anniversary pack. You had to buy the 30th anniversary pack to get access to it. And in my opinion, it's good. I definitely think that it's better than Shattered and Pit. I'm going to put it A tier. I'll just get that out of the way now. But my opinions on it are that it's not as good as something like Prophecy. The gimmick with this one is that it's pirate themed, arg matey, get your loot, and it doesn't do it for me. I mean, the pirate theme is never something I've enjoyed. It's cool. It has a great final boss encounter. Collecting engrams to get all your abilities back makes it, like, super easy, though. This was the easiest solo flaw out of all of them for me. Grasp was just a cakewalk. So, yeah, in that aspect, not my favorite. Definitely not bad by any means, though. I've hated on this one in the past, but I'm not going to put it lower than Shattered and Pit. It's definitely better than Shattered and Pit. I've played it again recently, and I've been like, yeah, you know what? Okay, like, I was too hard on it. It definitely deserves A tier at the bare minimum. I also just don't like the Earth skyboxes and, like, Earth, themed things. It's just not my favorite. So, yeah, going to put Grasp A tier. Next, we have Duality. Duality, out of the 3 solo flaws that I've completed, was by far and away the hardest. Duality was such a bitch and a half to solo flaw, but that was a good thing. Like, I genuinely enjoyed that experience. It was, don't get me wrong, it was really frustrating at some points. It was not very fun. It was not very poggers, but it ended up being like such a satisfying completion. Like after I got it, I was like, yes, like I was so tired of getting booped off the map or stomped by Keitel and those stupid like jetpacks on the ground, those canisters of pure gasoline just exploding and killing me in one hit. Like getting to the final boss is easy once you have down like the bells and the timing, but man, was it annoying when you would get booped off the map like on Keitel. Anyway, Duality, I think, is a great dungeon. I'm going to put it up in S tier with Prof. They're my 2 favorite dungeons by far. Really unique settings and locations. I love that shit. It's not just, like, on Earth. It's not just underground, under the moon. I really enjoy the location of these 2. And also, like, the Galrun boss fight is super fun. I enjoy that one because he's just a big, tanky dude, and you get to go one-on-one with him in an arena. And then the Keitel boss fight falters for me a little bit. Just the whole bell mechanic isn't really my fave. But yeah, overall, love Duality. Great dungeon. Really enjoyable solo flaw experience. Like once you do it, it's really rewarding. And next we have, well, finally, we have the most recent dungeon, Spire of the Watcher. This dungeon, in my opinion, sucks. I know that might come as a surprise to some of you. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, it's so good, and I've seen a lot of sentiment of it being pretty good. I think it's terrible. I think it's easily the worst dungeon in the game. Playing Electrician all day is not what I want to do with my life. If I wanted to be an electrician, I would have gone to trade school. But no, for real, like the encounters all rely on this one mechanic throughout the whole thing, which is, oh, you got to follow the wires, you got to learn the patterns and follow the wires, but it's static. It never changes. It's always the same rotation of wires, and it's boring. I think this dungeon overall is just boring. It is like a 15-minute clear with a good fire team. It is so easy. Maybe not 15, maybe like 20, but no, seriously, like this dungeon's so easy. I think it's boring. I don't like the setting. I'm not a big Mars fan, and I was also really hoping that they would use this opportunity for a new dungeon to go back to Europa. Like, we haven't had anything on Europa in forever other than Deepstone Crypt, and then, you've got the new Revision Zero quest, Seraph Shield, Operation Seraph Shield, and, like, that's cool and all, but that's not what I wanted from the new dungeon. Like, overall, super disappointed by Spire of the Watcher. Not my favorite at all. I'm still going to try and solo flawless it because I want to. Like every new dungeon that comes out from here on out, I'd like to say that I've solo flawed. That being said, it is so unenjoyable, I'm not in any rush to do so. I do want to do it this season because of the mods. You've got solo operative and weekend clear. But yeah, it's just lame, man. I'm going to put it D tier, lowest of the list. I think all of these dungeons are a better playthrough and a better first-time experience, right? Like, going into the pit for the first time felt magnificent and large and grand, and same to be said about Grasp and Prof and Duality. Maybe not Shattered, that's all up to your opinion, but I just felt so disappointed by this. Like, my buddies and I, on our first run, found all of the secrets and everything, like, in one run. We just found all of them with no knowledge of how to do it. I think it took us an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do our first clear, because we were taking our time, we were trying to figure it out, but it's just not my fave. Not my fave at all. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Tell me what you think of my rankings down below in the comments. I definitely want to know what you guys think about this. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.